Are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now. It's our weekly business news here on March 28th, 2025. I'm joined as always by Chris Hansen down in Miami. What's up, Chris?
What's up, Brian? How are you, bro?
I'm good. Here in Greenville, South Carolina, our studios here on the Swamp Rabbit Trail at Social House. Chris is down in Miami. We're always here to bring you the news. We take the BS out of the news, Chris. And, we're going to be taking the BS today. Like if you listen to and watch our show, if you're not watching, you need to get on YouTube. Go check that out, YouTube or Spotify. You can watch, see how pretty Chris is. You never know what he's going to be wearing. Always fashionable. I'm trying to keep up with him. But in all seriousness, we lean certain directions. I think we try to keep out of the politics and more of the policies of what we believe in. And I think when things are going good, we talk about how it's good. And I think when things are not feeling good, I think we've been talking about that. In today's episode, we're going to dive deep into some studies and surveys that go on. Some are yearly, some are quarterly, some are monthly. But it's really about consumer sentiment and about how people feel. And I think the numbers probably won't surprise you. They didn't surprise Chris and I as we were looking at them. And we're going to dive deep into that because I think this administration has been guns a-blazing in things that they're doing. And many of the policies, I think we tend to agree with directionally. But at the same time, a word of caution has kind of been coming from us with things lately, how we've felt like, at least in our circles, things have felt. And the studies that have come out on the overall consumer sentiment, how people are feeling, what they're, how for both currently and future thinking, because it's also built into that, like, what's your prognosis? Like, how do you feel about the future? And some of these numbers are staggering. And I think we're at a real pivotal point where the policymakers and the Central Reserve and a lot of people really need to take a look at this because people think with their head and they buy with their heart. And literally, people are not buying. You've got money staying on the shelf if there is some. You've got tightening of the wallet overall. You've got interest rates that have been stagnant and real estate market that's stagnant in a lot of markets. And I think we're coming to a head with where if we don't get ahead of getting consumers feeling positive about the changes, feeling positive about the economy, feeling positive about the potential of real estate opportunities, we're in for a tough road. And the sentiment of the country drives the economic behavior of the country. And we're going to dive deep into that today. But I think it's time that we really point out, hey, let's talk the good, the bad, and the other. We take the BS out of stuff. We're going to take it out today. And so we're going to dive deep into some of these stats. I think some might be surprising, some might not be, and talk about a few other business updates of the day here on the business news of the week. Chris, let's just jump right into it, man. We've been kind of talking about this, like, I think more our own sentiment, right? The last few episodes, like, I feel like we need some good news. Feels a little gloomy, a little flat, a little stagnant. And one of these, which is a survey of consumers from the University of Michigan, the preliminary results for March, looking at the index of consumer sentiment. How do they feel about the country? And it slid another 11 points. We're at 57.9 is the consumer sentiment, which is hovering right around, half feel good, half feel bad. And that's a 27% negative change year over year. In March of 2024, we were at 79.4. Right. It's a big drop, dude.
It's a massive drop. And you can feel it.
Yeah. And, take the who was president out of it. It's just whoever's in charge needs to be paying attention. We can't just heads down to blazing, getting all these policies, all these campaign promises done without recognizing what is the sentiment of, and this is covering Republicans, Democrats, everyone else. Everyone's just kind of meh about the overall economy. A lot of money staying put in the wallet, in the savings account, and it's a lot tighter for everyone else because inflation's still an issue. It's not good, man.
No, I feel like we're in a heavy contraction. And when I look at the numbers, right, down 22% from December 24, when I read that, I'm like, that feels right. Or it feels like it's higher than 22%.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the Christmas spirit that people were living in fantasy land, even though I do know a lot of people I remember saying this year felt weird at Christmas, because even then things were still tight. But I had a conversation with a friend of mine last week, two different friends, actually. One launching a company, one, her company that she was working with is shutting down. And it kind of just seems to be that's the rhythm right now, is people are contracting. Even entrepreneurs I know are contracting, right? I know we've pulled in on some things we do. It's like everyone's kind of huddling up a little bit. And obviously, I always say this, I feel like the new administration, like the coach has made the calls on the play, but there's no action on the field yet.
Yeah.
Like, or maybe there's some action on the field, but there's no points on the board. and I mean, we all understand you can't turn a ship around overnight, but I think the administration could do a better job and maybe some messaging and just informing people of what's going on, right? It's great. We know these executive orders and whatnot, but I mean, I think back at Kayleigh McEnany, like doing daily updates, when she was press secretary, like bring back that,
exactly.
Give people just some more up-to-date stuff. And I would say, because there's so much information overload, false information, misleading information, all the above, like get out there and tell us what's going on, right? Because like you said, I got another buddy just got out of the mortgage business, right? Can't deal with the pressure. I got a family, commission only, can't do it. Switch to a W-2 job. So, and I don't necessarily want to see people doing that either, right? I want to see people trying to build themselves and work for themselves. But same with the job market. Another friend went to college with her. She told me last week, I ran into her trying to put in resumes. No one's calling, getting no callbacks. Smart girl, well educated. So we're in an odd time.
Yeah. I mean, I like data and facts, and right. So we've been talking sentiment, talking things like perceptive. And then, you look at this data and, back to the White House, like, I think there's got to be some balance here. Like, we can want to do the tariff war and it can have positive long-term effects, but it's got to be balanced out with the realities of today and the sentiment of today, the inflation of today. And again, I'm not going to sit here as an economic specialist to tell you whether that long-term benefit outweighs the short-term pressure that we're feeling. I don't know. That's past my pay grade.
I have an example.
But I will say you can't ignore how the majority of America is feeling. It's just reality. And this was the biggest thing. I mean, look at this. It's despite their greater confidence following the election, Republicans posted a sizable 10% decline in their expectations index in March. So this isn't partisan. This is everybody.
Yeah. Well, especially when, the market takes a hit, right? I think of the retirement generation. Doesn't matter what political class you are. If the market goes down and you look at that retirement account is down, you're not going to feel good, right? Especially if you're on, what do they call it? Like set payments, right? You're on an allotted amount of money, fixed income, right? Market goes down, then you look at the grocery store, right? And that's still hasn't really eased up much pressure as far as inflation goes there. I had an example, but I can't remember it now.
It'll come back. I'm going to go through a couple of these other things. While current economic conditions were little changed, expectations for the future deteriorated across multiple facets of the economy. including personal finances, labor markets, inflation, business conditions, and stock markets. Many consumers cited the high level of uncertainty around policy and other economic factors. Frequent gyrations in economic policies make it very difficult for consumers to plan.
I remember
there it is, right there. You know, like that's it. That's kind of what you were saying. Fixed income, you got this stuff going on. You want to plan. You can't plan when you don't know what the impact of these things are going to do. So there needs to be more discussion about short-term, long-term. And hey, I mean, and this ain't cutting it. There'll be a little pain in the short term. Define what that means, please.
What is short term?
Yeah.
So an example today, I did see, and I was digging, right? Because we do this show. I saw that India basically was kind of lightening up on the tariff war, and they had said they would drop a lot of the tax on imported American goods. So it looks like positive news there, right?
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that on any headlines, right?
No
one's talking about that. And that's where, hey, if you're the administration, be shouting these wins from the rooftop, because you know that everyone else is hating on you for the tariffs. And now when you've got everyone in America, right, even like you said, the Republicans with their expectations, that should be a signal like, all right, guys, we need to do a little PR, right?
Yeah.
Like you're a marketing guy. We do marketing. It's like, do some damage control. Let's get this sentiment up. Let's make people feel good again.
Yeah. Because I'm looking for the silver lining. Like, you know, like I'm like going, okay, I agree with, like, fundamentally with the policy, but I need to see a little silver lining, short-term, long-term plan, because it can come off like this article, you know, the summary says, as a little bit of gyrating. Like it's kind of pew, pew, you know, we're shooting bullets, and it's like, it's great, but it's kind of like fire, aim, ready.
And I feel like we've just been getting the Trump Elon show since the election, the inauguration, and the Doge stuff. And it's like, that's all great. And that is definitely part of, you know, balancing the budget is definitely an important part, and cutting waste. But even when I go on Twitter, I'm like, all I see is Elon arguing with people about government policy, and there's no game plan.
Yeah.
Like,
or it's not clear.
Right. And even if it's just, hey, we're doing the tariff war, and we're holding firm, and we're going to hold our hand.
I mean, we need to bring jobs back to the U.S. We need higher pay. Yeah, we need all of that.
Yeah.
But what's the balance of the long term and the short term? And a little bit of pain is not a balancing plan.
Sell me on why I should keep tolerating this pain, right? Convince me. Soften it.
Yeah. Or get the damn inflation down and get, you know, the interest rates cut.
Almost like in the election speeches, right? When you're campaigning, we're bringing jobs. Keep reiterating that. Where are the jobs going? Where are we doing mining? Where's the plans? I know personally that there's plans for these things. And I know guys working in those industries that tell me, yeah, red tape's being cut, projects are being opened. But I don't think the general population knows that. And I think whether that's the mainstream media obviously hates this administration as part of the problem. But I think the administration can play some offense a little better on just communications 101.
Yeah, exactly. And because I'm not sitting here telling you that I know that the enactment and the things that are happening are going to cause necessary short-term pain. But what I am telling you is, in my wheelhouse, which is marketing, and back to the buy with their heart, if you want this economy to keep moving, you need this consumer to have an uplifted spirit and a belief in what is happening. And you got to get them to buy into that and understand what's happening in the short term to assist them in sustaining either through that short pain or to get them off I think we got a lot of money that's kind of getting a little shrunk back up. Like, I'm putting, getting tight. All this buying gold, because, even in my own mind, I didn't think my crypto would double in a month, but I sure as hell didn't think it'd be down 33% in 3 months. I bet you didn't, Chris.
Oh, no. I don't think anyone planned for anything that's going on, even in the stock market, guys, with NVIDIA, for example, that big debacle. It's like,
because tell me what's good right now, Chris. Stock market's down. Crypto's
playing
down.
cards, apparently.
yeah. That's why we're talking trading cards. That's the only thing that's up.
I'm sitting here realizing today I've been in wrong investments the whole time,
Yeah. And I'm not sitting here blaming the administration for all of that. It's really regardless of the administration, but it is what it is. Whatever caused it. Maybe it was already built in. These next 6 months were going to happen no matter who's in office or what's happening. But the sentiment sucks right now. And so this administration's job is to make it not suck. You have to
give us a narrative, give us the roadmap.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a run. If you're going to running, it sucks a lot less when, I got 1 mile left, as opposed to, hey, Chris, just keep running. I'll let you know when we're done. Right.
Yeah, because my concern is less as an entrepreneur. I'm going to figure mine out. Right. I don't need the administration to figure it out for me. But here's the thing. Anything I sell is going to be bought by consumers or businesses that are impacted by this sentiment. So I need the sentiment to be higher, not because any administration or policy is in my personal way as an entrepreneur, but I just know things move. The money moves, the sales moves, everything moves better when this is where it needs to be. And that's the point of this rant, if you call it, is somebody's got to take accountability, responsibility for driving this up, because it's a slippery damn slope. Let's just say that, with where things could go, because people start tightening up on everything and your interest rates don't go down. Just be careful in the short term while you play the long term.
We need that morale up,
Yeah, exactly. We kind of like the old team. You got a team of players out on the court. I mean, everybody, like, if you can't make them believe, no matter how good, bad, or different it is, they're never going to play well. Mm-hmm. And we need to get some cheerleaders. And I like the theory of what I'm hearing Elon's doing. It sounds great, but I don't know that he's the cheerleader.
No, I don't think so.
He's a pioneer and an innovator, but I don't know if he's going to lead the rally of the sentiment. I think you're going to have somebody else doing that, and I think it's going to have to be driven by the enactment of certain things, both telling the plan, but we need those interest rates to go down.
Yeah.
And if you still have inflation hovering, they're not going to want to do that. But need money, that loosens up money in the market. We talk about that a lot, and refis and sells, and because that's the biggest transaction most people have. And so it's the moment in time when their most amount of money in one direction or the other goes in and out of hands, and the residual leftover of money made on a sale, refinanced, is when you get that injected into the overall economy. And it feels stalled right now as much as anything. It's like, I don't personally feel like I see like the doom and gloom. It's more of this really hard pause that's happening right now. It just feels like we're at like if you were walking, we're stuck in mud. When you're stuck in mud, you take one step forward, you think you're out of the mud, you're kind of still in it. It's kind of like the crypto, up 10% one day, down 11 the next. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, can we get unstuck here a little bit? Can we get a little ride of good news? we'll see what happens. I'm going to jump ahead here. A couple of retail things I don't think are necessarily related to this economy. I think this is more trends overall, Chris. But Forever 21 and GameStop both closing retail stores. Forever 21 expected to close all U.S. stores. That damn Shein and Temu, the cheap e-com came and got them. I do see Shein everywhere.
It's all over the place. The ads are everywhere, and it's so cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never purchased from it, but I know it's very popular with the ladies.
I've bought a couple things like 2 years ago, maybe. And at the time, I thought it was pretty decent. I mean, it's like a $10 t-shirt or something. And it was like more of a fashionable type t-shirt. I was like, this is kind of cool, but I'm a double XL slim fit. So I'm a weird size fitting, and it did okay, not perfect. I had to buy from certain companies to get the fit I want, but I was impressed with the overall quality for like $10. It was better than I would have thought. So, I mean, it's hard. Like we joked about the malls closing. It's like, but you know, this generation, my kids still love to go to the mall rats. But the thing is, I don't know if anybody's buying at the mall anymore. You know, like when you and I went to the mall, maybe like 20, me 30 years ago, you 20 years ago, like the parents were at least buying, you know, and the kids may have just been walking around being mall rats, but someone was buying because e-com wasn't what it is today. It's like, can the malls, can they survive?
I mean, even when I'm in the mall now, I'm like, can I find the same thing online for less money? You know?
Yeah. Well, they become the window shopping for online buying, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, especially if it's the same brand. Because if you go look at something, you go like, I don't know, like an Express or some store like that where maybe they don't have your size, but you can go look at the actual quality, like the exact item or something. Then you buy it online. And I mean, Express is still getting the sale maybe, but that brick and mortar is not. So I don't think we've seen the end of this bloodbath of stores. I don't think all stores will go away. I just think you're going to see this centralization of, okay, Walmart superstores, which is the equivalent of, you know, gigantic Amazon store. But like, you know, discount stores like that, I can see doing well. Large stores where you can get lots of different things, convenience, still a factor. But then these kind of niche things, when you can get it online, and the tools for buying online have gotten so much easier, and the shipping's gotten better. And really the overall expectation, people have just gotten used to what to expect buying online.
And price-wise, you know? Like I know for these Temu and Shein, whatever you call it, it's definitely super cheap. So, and it's not even like nowadays, most people I don't even think are necessarily always buying because they're looking. There's just ads going constantly as well.
Yeah. Here's what it said. Forever 21's brand name and international business will come under Authentic Brands Group. Our U.S. licensees' decision to restructure presents an opportunity to modernize the brand. Possible revival if a new U.S. operator takes over. We've lost over $400 million in the last 3 years, including $150 million in 2024 alone. Jumping ahead here, the GameStop closing a significant number of stores and will invest heavily in Bitcoin. It's an interesting headline for a company, right? It's like, well, how is one related to the other? Massive store closures. 1,000 stores shut down globally in the past year, 590 in the U.S., 320 in Europe. It's now at 3,200 stores, Chris, down from 6,000 a decade ago. So cut in half. Probably cut in half again.
Yep.
Said consumers moving to digital game purchases and streaming. Part of a broader retail decline with brands like Joann, Forever 21, Kohl's, and Macy's also closing stores. GameStop to invest a portion of its cash reserves in Bitcoin.
Probably a smart move.
Yeah. The pivot to Bitcoin is really a defense against irrelevance. It says, an odd thing is it's basically saying the strategy isn't retail, but to act as some kind of cryptocurrency investment vehicle.
That's where they're smart, because gaming is combining with blockchain and all that. So they might be extremely forward thinking with this and pivoting.
It is interesting because then it becomes, if you're buying the GameStop GameStop stock, hard to say. 2 words, GameStop stock. Why not just buy crypto then? If the whole company if they're putting reserves in, their value will be driven by whether Bitcoin grows. It's like, you're kind of, what are you buying into?
They have such a cult following,
Yeah.
From the Robinhood debacle.
Kind of like a reseller of this, you can buy direct. You buy it through GameStop, who's investing. I guess you still have the side of the business that is retail. So I hope that it pivots to something different. I guess as far as knowing that they won't go bankrupt would keep your interest in the stock, I guess. But at a certain point, you can't spend half your money on Bitcoin, and then why not just buy Bitcoin versus buying GameStop?
Yeah. However, if you were holding GameStop when this news came out, you could have made 16% that day if you're a day trader, which I think a lot of the GameStop guys really that follow that are like the swing traders.
Oh, yeah. Because, you had that whole the stock jump on this thing.
Yeah,
Well, they go to like $200
on it.
It's crazy. Huh? Talk about sentiment driving behavior, like that's a whole case study in itself. Emotional levers pulling it. Yeah. GameStop shares soared 16% in pre-market trading. So, hey, close some stores and your stock goes up. I guess it's all about profitability. I get it. It's just, do you get happy about the stock going up, or you get sad about the stores closing? You can't fight. I'll answer my own question. You can't fight the reality of online, and especially this, like digital games, like you can download them. Like you don't need the physical. I hate I was the first guy to get rid of every CD and DVD I owned, before there was Netflix. It was like the moment that I could do digital, like hard drive driven, all my stuff, I was there. It's like, get rid of those racks. You remember those racks? Yeah, the racks. Yeah. Everybody had them in their house. Racks of CDs, racks of DVDs. It was almost like a trophy of hey, look at all those DVDs. Yeah, man. You got that whole collection. All right. Yeah, it's just collecting dust. One more thing you have to dust off.
Yep.
Or not dust off if you're a college kid like I was. And, look at all that CD collection, man. Let me go through your collection. Think how foreign things become, as technology changes.
I know.
It's like, let me see your CD collection. Go through it, man. Oh, the Cranberries. Those are good. They got that one song. That's a good one. That linger. Dave Matthews. I had like 50 bootleg Dave Matthews CDs, like every concert. Like I was that's how I used the internet when it first started. It's just in college trading live Dave Matthews shows.
Yeah.
I was a pioneer. Yeah. Oh, I had tapes. I had a tape collection, like 100 tapes.
According to the feds, you were a pirate.
Oh yeah. I was pirating there. But Dave didn't care because he was smart. That's why he got so big, because they didn't police that. They let it happen naturally. The story there, that's an economic story right there. How to get big. Don't get in the way of spreading the news, because we still went to all the concerts, bought the t-shirts, did all the stuff. They made all the money by not getting in the way of the spread of people getting to hear their music. Anyway, I digressed. Oh man, that brings back some memories, dude. Oh, the work involved, man, with tapes and CDs burning and failing. Oh God, how bad was it when you'd be burning a CD, and how many times would it fail in the burn? Like the fact that there's a laser in your computer burning a CD. I guess it's not much different than a hard drive now, like saving shit, but it's just the wild times, man. I've lived through analog digital, man. I'm on all sides of it. Like this analog digital conversion. Crazy. And that's what we're talking about with the stores and retail and e-com and all that is this movement from physical to digital. But we do still have to wear the clothes. So whether it's Shein or it's done or ordered e-commerce, until we're living, the day will come, Chris, where it's just a digital clothes because you never leave your house except digitally. Mm-hmm. That's the shit that gets scary, right?
Yeah, I don't want to live in that world.
I don't either, but can you not? It used to be a time where I couldn't see that coming. I'm not saying that I'm going to embrace wanting to do that, but can't you see that? I can totally see that now.
I mean, it's here to a degree with all the metaverse stuff. You have people that don't leave their house and they just live online gaming,
Yeah. And it will matter what your skin is and all that. I mean, my kids already care. You can, I will watch my kids playing Fortnite, and they'll spend as much time playing the game as they do picking out their skin before they go and who they're going to be. Like literally sitting there going through it, like toiling over it. I'm like, that really matters to them. That's how they show off. Me growing up, it was wearing my Air Jordans for the first time. And they care about that stuff too, which, it's more money. But it's that skin on Fortnite. Dressing up as, Wemby or something. Like playing Fortnite as Wemby, or one of the NBA players or LeBron James. Or a banana character, which my oldest son does, which kind of trolls everybody. He likes to just kind of do the stupidest shit. And because he wants people to think that he thinks that that's cool when he doesn't. It's reverse psychology. Like he wants to do the stupidest thing.
He's smart.
This is what you have to look forward to, Chris. You have kids, if you have kids.
To be determined.
Yeah. Never know. What else we got in the news today? Any other big news? Boston Celtics was sold for a record-breaking $6 billion. Boston Celtics have been sold for $6.1 billion, big ones, setting a North American sports franchise record. Led by William Chisholm, a billionaire from private equity. Of course he is. Includes Robert Hale, current Celtics investor, and Bruce Beal. Bill is a terrific person, a true Celtics fan, born and raised here in Boston. So, Grossbeck bought the team in 2002 for $360 million. That's a nice investment there, Chris. You bought it for $360 million in 2002. By my math, 23 years later, you sell it for $6 billion. It's a nice return on investment.
Heck yeah.
Was that 30x? That's nice, man. Nice turnaround.
100% increase.
Yeah. 6,000. Is it 30x? Isn't that I don't even do that math. This is a lot of numbers, man. I mean, $6 billion is a lot of damn money.
Especially for a sports team.
It is, but I mean, they make a lot of money, man. All the rights, all the
business.
Stuff. It is huge business, especially those sports cards.
Yeah,
that's what it is
for the sports cards.
Yeah, 1,600% increase in value over 23 years. All right, there's the math. Not bad. Not bad. That's what I need a crypto to do, Chris. What's XRP? I'm going to look it up right now while we're doing it. I'm going to see it because you know what? I got so tired of looking at 7 things that I only had a little bit in. I moved it all to XRP just so I had one thing to look at.
Consolidate it.
I just consolidated it. Let's see where we're at today. Bear with us here. Up, down. Yet again. On the week, we're down 4.74%. We're sitting at, we're down 7 cents today, 1%. Chris, I mean, it's just like up. This chart's like my EKG. It's like whoop, 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 up, down, like like my wife's yelling at me for something.
It's that's why, I mean, like you, I don't pay attention to much of the market stuff right now.
No, I look at it like that's the first time I've looked at it. It's like once a week. Like take a peek. I'm like, all right, whatever. But I would.
It's not fun when it's not moving, and that's an indicator of everything. Like you said, you feel like it's just on pause. You're like, all right,
everything.
Well, I guess I'll just go to the gym. Like, not going to have any entertainment from this today.
Yes, it's these 3 words that I ask, and everyone should ask themselves: to what end? Everything we do, every dollar we spend, like not psychoanalyzing everything, but like to what end? Like to what purpose? And that's what we're asking. We've been doing all sports cards lately, and I want to be equal opportunity because the kids are into everything. And we've been doing the whole thing on trading cards. We're starting a series on the trading card business with our guests. So we're going to be having some big guests on the show in the trading card business. Got some good names lined up. We'll be announcing that shortly. We're starting recording next week with some of those. Talking about the business of trading cards. It is like the stock market in a lot of ways for another potential investment avenue, but also fun. And we've been doing sports cards, but today, hey, I'll go tell you this much, Chris. If you want to know the one thing sold out at every store, it'd be this guy right here. Pokemon. Oh my God. I thought this was like a thing like 10 years ago. Like that now, you go to a store, every freaking Pokemon rack is empty. I know because my kids are into it and I'm looking to it, and maybe I'm into it too, but I like the sports cards better. But my kids like the sports cards, but their eyes light up for the freaking Pokemon. Yep. Were you ever into Pokemon, Chris?
I was not, but I do have a memory being on a school bus in 5th grade with a kid who had a Charizard card. And I remember those were like,
that was the one.
Big money cards.
Back. Now there's like 100,000 different characters, but you get these 10s, they get 2 packs. And look, man, they got all these series. The prismatic series is the hot ones right now. These 151s, just trust me. If you see any prismatic or 151s and you want a good investment, if you see them for sale, buy them if it's retail. Because Chris, if you find them retail, the certain ones, I mean, they're 4 or 5x. This particular one's goes up a couple bucks. Like you can buy them retail.
You're gonna have to send me a scouting list so I can go scour Miami for Pokemon cards.
Oh yeah, because dude, these prismatic cards, they're like $5 for a retail pack. If you find them, you can immediately sell them for $15. It's 3x your money immediately. It's crazy. Like I've even got a dealer that will buy them for me double. Like usually you can't make any money selling anything to like a sports card dealer. Right. This guy will pay, like if I buy him for like a 2-pack thing and I find him for like $10, he will immediately give me 20 for every one I can find.
Tell me this though, is there a problem? Like if I were doing eBay, is there a lot of fakes?
There's some, but eBay's pretty good. Like we've been selling some of our stuff and you can see everything that we have at breakingrad.com. Yeah, that's creative. You like it. Breakingrad.com, and our eBay store is breakingrad.com. They have an authenticity guarantee, so that like if this card is a certain value, it gets sent to the authenticity person first, authenticator or whatever. And so I feel like they've got some stuff to where you could pull that trick like once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you might could get away with one sale, and it's like, okay, is that worth it? So anyway, we're opening. This is the Scarlet and Violet series. I tell you what, you got to be watching the YouTube. You're doing this. You got to see the pack opening. Pouty on Fates. My kids were here. They tell you everything about like this particular series and everything like that. You're hoping for these one special cards. The one thing I don't like about Pokemon, Chris, and I hope I'm not like jinxing myself. Maybe I'll get the greatest card ever, but the hit rate is pretty low. They're only the back cards are good. They're kind of get this shiny. You'll see the difference in the cards. You probably see this if you're watching YouTube. And Oh, there's a little EX. That guy's pretty good, actually. I think that's at least a $2 card, might be higher. It might be pretty decent one there, Chris. I'm sitting here knocking them, and then so funny though. You can see the shine on the card. Can you see that? Are you seeing that, Chris?
Yep.
Oh, fancy, right?
That's holographics.
Put that here on our play button. YouTube play button's got to be good for something. And then these energy, like this whole thing is a playing game. Like you can play these cards. If there's a card game, I mean, I open it for the cards and the investment. Yeah, my kids don't even play the game either. I don't know what percent actually play the game, but you can go to some of these stores and there's kids like literally just playing that game. Well, the problem is if you play the game with the cards get beat up and they're not worth as much. So I don't know what you're in it for, right? So, I mean, there's all these characters. They're cool looking, but none of these cards are worth anything until you get to the back. This guy, that looks cool, but there's a single gold star. That might be worth something. Do you see these stars at the bottom? That's what will tell you like whether or not it's anything good. This trainer, I don't know who that is, but this might actually be something. My kids are going to have to like, some of these things I can look through and know if I'm seeing something good. My kids have to tell me some of these Pokemons are any good. But anyway, crazy. It's a whole thing. If you get on Facebook Marketplace, they're freaking everywhere. And like for sale, because people are just raiding the freaking Walmarts and Targets and everything else. So
the word is out.
The word is out. There's our hits. I think both of those are pretty decent. That might be, I could be anywhere from, funny thing about these Pokemons is these could be like $1 cards or these can be like $50 to $100 cards. You never know.
Pretty big.
It's hard to tell.
You got to get your boys to come verify for you.
I know. We're going to get them on. Clayton, Hudson, Hogan, or Nash. Check us out at breakingrad.com or breakingrad_ on Instagram. See everything we're doing. It's having fun. Teaching my kids business through sports cards. Or they're teaching me business. I don't know which one it is, Chris. Teaching me the business. Hey, no doom and gloom here. Getting into sports cards. We're giving you alternate investment. This is all about alternate investment avenues here. Like I will say the sentiment meter on sports cards is up. Like everything else is kind of stagnant. Everything else, trading cards, is kind of up a little bit. Especially Pokemon's like the craze is out there, dude. We'll see what happens. Any final words today, my friend?
Hey, get you some Pokemon cards. Get those prisms.
Yes. Hey, let's get the sentiment up. But let's get the interest rates down. Let's get some plans in place, talked about, and we're gonna do nothing but keep the bullshit out of the business news. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. Go to ryanisright.com. You'll find the highlight clips, the full episode, links to YouTube, links to trading cards, other alternative investment routes, and links to Chris on Instagram. Even if you came here just for that, it'll be there. We promise. Chris, I appreciate you, brother. We'll see you guys next time on Right About Now.
This has been Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. Visit ryanisright.com for full audio and video versions of the show or to inquire about sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening. This is Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now. It's our weekly business news here on March 28th, 2025. I'm joined as always by Chris Hansen down in Miami. What's up, Chris?
What's up, Brian? How are you, bro?
I'm good. Here in Greenville, South Carolina, our studios here on the Swamp Rabbit Trail at Social House. Chris is down in Miami. We're always here to bring you the news. We take the BS out of the news, Chris. And, we're going to be taking the BS today. Like if you listen to and watch our show, if you're not watching, you need to get on YouTube, Go check that out, YouTube or Spotify. You can watch, see how pretty Chris is. You never know what he's going to be wearing.